People, how's it going? So today we're going to get started working on a MacBook that randomly shuts down. This is, and from the Paul Q, we're going to see how hard this is, if this is something that is fixable or not. So let's get started. We're going to put the desk camera over here, zoom out a little so you can see what it looks like on the inside, and we're going to examine this. So this looks like a 2013 MacBook Air. This is an 820-3437 board. It should be easy to find that number so you can read it. As you can see, I was reading it from right here, right underneath the SSD. See? 820-3437. Really easy to find. So we are going to take the screws out of this MacBook Air board and take it out of the machine, see what we can do to get this thing working again. Why are you working on the weekend? Says Bobby Hardcastle. I am working on the weekend because I would like to move to a nice new store that is not claustrophobic and miserable, and that is going to cost a lot of money. So the work that I do now is going to pay off when I wind up moving to that place that actually allows me to do business like a dignified human being rather than like a sardine. And it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. All right, we're going to take a look over this board in the good old microscope. And you'll tell me if you see anything that looks out of the ordinary. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's go over this board. Dust. So we look through the board. Aha. What do we have going on over here? And the rest of the machine looks fine. We just got some pubes, some green probe points by the BIOS chip that could use a little bit of touching up. You don't want to have green stuff near your BIOS chip. And the CPU/PCH is never going to get initialized properly. So, first thing we're going to do is focus on this PP342_G3 hot area over here. I can show you what that is by opening up the Paul Daniels software. So let's open up a board view for an 820-3437 and get started. And oh my God, it opened itself up in the proper orientation the first time. That never happens. Everybody, say thank you to the Paul Daniels software for working today. All right, so we're going to go over here to U7090. And what is this circuit for? Oh my God, can you smell that?
It's permeating everything. It smells so fucking bad.
Alright, so here what we have is the circuit required for making PP342_G3 hot. And my white balance button is actually not working anymore. There we go. What? These are not tweezers. What is this? This is a duck bill. Get the next. Now it looks like somebody was trying to clean corrosion and actually knock that stuff off. Because you could see there was a piece of the cap still there, and there's also a piece of the resistor still there. So I'm going to replace those, even the ones that are still soldered on there, just because I don't really trust them right now. It burned because it was its time to burn. It burned because it was its time to burn. To everything, burn, burn, burn. There is a season, burn, burn, burn. And a time to... Alright, looks like we're missing a probe point over here. There we go. This is where the disconnect is. This was too corroded to pass. Or maybe not. Maybe we can actually revive it with a little bit of flux and some solder. No, high voltage. No. Let's see. Alright, so he brought that back. Next is going to have to happen for the rest of the pads. You don't want to solder on top of corrosion, you want to scrape away the corrosion. It is the season, burn, burn, burn. It is the season, turn, burn, burn. The season. I sent you an email with some fun, relaxing links. Yeah, I saw the Nerf thing. Thank you. But fortunately, at the moment, I just don't have the time to look into Nerf stuff. After I'm done with this, this section of the board just looks like scorched earth. Disgusting. So we'll see if it turns on in a moment. And gotta go over these probe points I was talking about for the SPI ROM. Not gonna just leave that there like that. 6:02 p.m. Did the contract show up and start working? We got somebody who's got keys that wants to start working on it tomorrow. I had some other people come and bid, but the thing is, there were a lot of questions that they had that I believe were questions that I'm not really qualified to answer. It's kind of like I'm looking... How do I put this? So what I'm looking for... When I was a recording engineer, I would try to say, so what kind of sound is your band looking for? Show me the stuff, send me some stuff that is what you want to sound like, right? I wouldn't say, do you want me to use a Shure SM58 or a Royer or 121 ribbon or something on your guitar? I would try to figure out, what are you looking for? And okay, now it's my job to make, try to get you there, or tell you, no, that's fucking ridiculous. You're not gonna, that's not gonna happen. That's, but it was on me to do that. And I found, really nice contractor, actually, nice guy. But, it seemed like there was one contractor who essentially knew what I was looking to do, knew my situation, knew the way I wanted it to look, knew what was bothering me, knew what corners to cut, what corners not to cut, and knew that I was working on a very limited budget due to lack of loan and budget deficits. So he made the suggestions as to, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. He's like, this, and he seemed like he knew his shit. And that's kind of what I need. I don't really need... I need somebody who's going to tell me why their way is the best way for me. Who knows that it's going to, just gets in there, gets it done immediately. Gives me a quote immediately. And it was pretty fair. It was the guy that gave the most reasonable quote for redoing the 30th Street location. He gave a very reasonable quote, in contrast to the others for the 30th Street location. So I have an idea that, I'm not getting too fucked. Obviously, it's going to be quite a bit. Redo the floor in there, fix up the wiring that's coming out of the wall, the ceiling, smooth out the sections that have broken up sheetrock or drywall. But it's going to be, it'll work well. So I imagine they'll be done in about a month. They said a month, which means probably 2 months, because he's a contractor. He's a good contractor, but at the end of the day, he's still a contractor. And being a contractor means you're probably going to say it's going to be one price or one amount of time, when it's actually another price or another amount of time. That's just the nature of the contractor. There's not really much you can do there. Okay, just a small amount of flux there.
Both my girlfriend and your girlfriend are young.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Sunny is going, yep.
Yeah, Sonny's probably going, yep. We got a fan spin. And it's going to turn on, off, on, off, on, off, on, as all 3437s do. But there we go. Pinky and the brain. It's Pinky and the brain. And this MacBook works, so now we can move on to another one. Joy. I'll have this ultrasonically cleaned and tested and reassembled all nice and proper by the reassembly department here at Rossman Repair. That's here Monday through Friday.